without a doubt, where we're going is definitely the wildest place.
September, in the Congo, just north of the equator. There has never been an expedition quite like this one. No one has ever gone this way before. 1,200 miles through the forest. A forest the size of Florida. The aim is to create a living chronicle of a vanishing realm. The journey begins in the flatlands of northern Congo. They will march across 2 nations, all the way to the sea, if they survive the forest. Dr. Michael Fay from the Wildlife Conservation Society leads the expedition he calls the Mega Transect. Fay is a zealot, preaching the gospel of wilderness.
What I'm trying to do in a desperate way is to show the world that we're just about to lose the last little gem in the African continent. And if we don't do something now, if we don't do it today, we can forget about it.
The same passions burn through Congolese researcher Yves Constant Madzou.
I have the courage to do it because we need to save the forest. A Mega Transect is something which is in my heart. It is very difficult. Our life depends on this forest.
September 20, Fay is on the move to get his team together and rendezvous with National Geographic photographer Nick Nichols. The two will link up in the remote village of Macau, the jump-off point for Fay's epic march.
The whole exercise is not only to document the wildlife and show that it needs to be saved, but to try to show a traditional Africa with dignity.
With his camera, Nichols will chronicle the journey, documenting places and people in a forest on the brink of change.
This has got to be the last stronghold of the Bayaka people. In 10 years' time, this probably won't exist.
Nichols is in Macau, awaiting Fay's arrival.
And we've been trying to figure out when he was going to come out. And now he should be arrived at Macau.
And he has, out of the twilight, across the Motaba River.
Everybody still alive? How many did you lose?
Fay is here to recruit men with the skill and endurance to explore the forest and take the pulse of the wilderness.
You're looking kind of pale.
Pale? You think so?
Once men like these led poachers into the forest. Now they hope to preserve it.
We're here. That's the way to go. I feel great. We saw amazing things. Oh, unbelievable.
Fay has been living and working in Africa since 1978.
Oh, let's go see these puppies. Hey, puppies! How are you?
Fay is known and respected in Macau. His conservation efforts helped turn this village around.
You know, when we first arrived here in 1989, it was full of ivory poaching and ivory poachers. Everyone was still unemployed. None of the kids were in school, and there was no health care. And yet, ivory was flowing out of this village every day.
Today, the poachers are gone, and many villagers have jobs because of the national park Fay helped create. Mombele Gregoire is an old friend of Fay's. He and 11 other Baaka pygmies will accompany Fay on the expedition.
Makisa. We're making the roll call. Get these guys on the road. Donc, nani a dit
C'est ça d'abord. C'est ça.
all the shoes are too big.
Muko Gabriel was badly burned in a childhood accident. He is known for his resilience and sense of humor. Fafa Jean Guillemot manages the team, running the daily logistics of the expedition.
Fafa is the glue that binds the whole operation.
No problem.
Without Mr. Fafa, we would be in disarray. Got all the stuff distributed, and now we're giving them sacks.
Each man carries almost 70 pounds, everything from scientific equipment and medical supplies to tents, tarps, pots and pans. They trust the Ba'aka, and he will depend on their knowledge of the forest.
It's not everybody that can just jump out into the woods and start walking and go for an entire year. And they know how to locate animals. They know how to make a living out in the forest.
28 supply drops are planned along their route. Everything hinges on making steady progress, on getting to the right place at the right time.
It's a very simple thing that we do. We walk in the woods and we record everything we see. Some of these nuts are older than Jesus Christ. And I mark left pocket so I know where they were.
And the canopy is closed.
The Congo Basin holds close to 1/4 of the world's rainforests and perhaps half of all of Africa's wild plants and animals.
Cool dude. Walking in elephant tracks is always nice.
Faye's plan is to gather data on almost every aspect of the forest.
I would call this my primary data collection device. What does fresh elephant dung look like? Boop. You know, oh, what is that butterfly species? Boop. Oh, there's another beetle that we haven't seen before. Boop. And I just take everything like that all day. I can maybe make 100 3 or 4 second clips in a day. Spooked them a wee bit. If I don't have all this stuff, you know, it's just a memory.
And memories aren't enough to describe a world that has to be experienced to be believed.
You walk into this wonder world. It's literally like walking off this planet into another planet. These animals have never seen a human before. These wildlife populations are very special. Their societies are intact. They haven't become refugees yet. They're not being shot at every day.
But in the midst of beauty, there is the beast. And some of the smallest things in this jungle are some of the scariest.
It's crazy out here, baby.
I'm really worn out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it or not. But all of those were footworms, and they eat the skin. Now I can hardly walk.
Chiggers, we love them.
Just doing this every day. It gets you.
It's war with the tsetse flies at this place. They bite me, I kill them. That's the rule. break them.
2 months into the mission, Faye is thriving on the hardship.
I'm getting so used to the forest now that nothing physical bothers me. You know, I mean, people become miserable, and so they can't see the beauty of the place.
What you doing? You're supposed to be afraid of us. But you're not, are you? Because you don't even know what's going on, do you? You have no idea, do you?
And to Faye, that's a good sign. It might mean this forest elephant has never seen a human before.
The point of engaging them is to see how they react to humans. You know, like in some places, they realize you're there and every muscle in their body goes completely hard, and then they run for kilometers. They're obviously heavily hunted.
But this elephant seems unafraid. To Faye, a sign that this part of the forest is still wilderness.
Hello. Hello. Ho. Get back.
The cameraman beats a retreat, but Faye holds his ground.
Once you're engaged, you do not show your back to that elephant. You do not turn, you do not run, because if you do, he will chase you.
Still, there's always the possibility of attack.
They're very fast. They're stealth. They know the woods, and so you know, he can easily, if he really wants to, he can catch up to you. And you just don't want to run away.
Hey. Hey. Oh. Ah.
The probability of getting killed is much lower if you stand your ground than if you run.
No.
And yell louder and louder and louder.
You get it! You're out of your mind, girl. You're out of your mind.
I don't know who was more nervous, me or her.
And out here, both would do well to be afraid. Although the situation has improved, elephants throughout the Congo are still hunted for their ivory.
This is a serious situation. Six hours of walking now, and we're on a good human trail. This will be. Mingi.
Animal skulls, shotgun shells. Poachers may be nearby.
Once the shooting starts, it doesn't stop. Same deal. There's got to be at least 50 skulls in this camp. A real killing machine out here, that's for sure. This is a serious situation because there's just only so many animals in the forest.
For centuries, humans have hunted Africa's forests,
Big vertebrate.
most to feed their families, but others just for profit. And Faye believes in confronting poachers, regardless of the risk.
Buluka bongo. Buluka bongo. They come across the border into Congo, They're hunting for the bushmeat market. They're coming from a long way away. They're coming from 300 kilometers away. This isn't their forest. It's not their country. They're completely illegal. They have no hunting permits. They have no quotas. They have no right to be carrying guns.
We didn't know we were in Congo. We didn't know. We have to survive.
Eve takes measure of the destruction. More data for the mega transect. They decide to burn the camp. But in burning the camp, are these men denied a livelihood in a place where there may be no work? When jobs are scarce, people do what they must to survive. This camp probably served commercial interests, providing food for men who work for mining operations.